What's up, everyone? It's Scotty with MoneyVest. So NIO is pricing for about $1 billion worth of offering of a hybrid, which is both convertible bonds and convertible bonds, basically, that can be converted into equity at a later date. And that's obviously resulting in the price dropping a little bit close to 6% pre-market. I'm going to talk about, the offering itself. You don't have all the specifics, and then of course do a technical analysis for everyone that's interested in trading NIO, and of course you are keeping track of it. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, find it helpful, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining, and of course getting access to all the buy and sell alerts, options alerts, trade ideas. Everything is going to be included with the link down below, and of course the intrinsic value spreadsheet also is available. We right now have a 16% annual discount available till the end of this month. And I also did update all the fundamental analysis courses with bonus lectures, 4 of them. And also the options course, I updated with 2 more bonus lectures on implied volatility, and of course 2 mistakes and 3 mistakes to avoid at all costs when it comes to options trading. So links are going to be down below if you're interested in joining for that as well. So this right here was the catalyst. So today, NIO's planned $1 billion convertible offering follows a stretch of swelling losses. So this only adds to the convertible. So basically the debt offerings that we talked about in September of 2023, that's gone up to over $120 billion, which is just an insane number. And market's appetite is being tested now, because who's going to be buying $1 billion worth of NIO convertible debt, huh? Who's out there? Who's willing to scoop up these deals? Or if there are any deals, right? The company's proposing $1 billion offering with half the bonds due in 2029 and the other half due in 2030. And the company said it intends to use part of the proceeds. Here's the crazy part. It intends to use the part of the proceeds from the offering to repurchase a portion of existing debt securities. Welcome to the world of debt, right? Inspired by the US, and the entire world is now basically taking on debt to retire old debt. And it's just this constant cycle. And the remainder mainly to further strengthen its balance sheet position, as well as for general corporate purposes as well. And of course, we did see the decline pre-market. And of course, we have seen a lot of other companies, including Nikola Fisker, do a lot of senior convertible bonds offerings as well. Now, the way these convertible bonds basically work is that these are debt securities, right? They're structured as debt securities. So in other words, when a company is issuing convertible bonds, they're issuing debt securities, or in other words, bonds, which got a provision in them that can be converted into equity at a later date, at a specific valuation, at a discount, right? So that's the provision that's already in them. So for a more generic sort of definition, it's a hybrid of both debt and equity. And in short, a convertible note is originally structured as a debt. As I mentioned, it's a bond, but it has a provision that allows a principal plus accrued interest to convert into an equity investment at a later date. And this allows the original investment to get done more quickly with lower legal fees and more for the company to kind of put out there, and of course work with the banks and get this out there, but ultimately gives the investors the economic exposure of an equity investment as well. But what does it do to existing shareholders? Dilution, right? That's what it is. Among all this fluff, it is dilution. That's what's happening here. So even if it's a convertible bond or a convertible note, doesn't matter. Eventually there is a provision which the buyer of the bond can exercise their right to change this into preferred equity or just an equity investment, and that is going to dilute the shareholders, obviously. And as a result, the stock price is dropping by almost 6% down to under $10 per share. Now, as I've already mentioned, that NIO has too many things going on right now, right? That's as a result, they've not been profitable. In fact, they did report losses, GAAP net losses of about 6 billion RMBs in the last quarter. That's more than double the losses it posted a year ago. And that marks the 3rd consecutive quarter in a row which losses have doubled, according to FactSet. So, we know that new vehicles are coming on board. There's new luxury vehicles that NIO is launching in China, in Norway, and other parts of the world. But my only issue with NIO has always been profitability. Like, profitability is very important, right? I mean, you got to be able to create a sustainable long-term business. And until NIO posts a profitable sort of quarter and can generate EPS, GAAP EPS, on a profitable EPS on a GAAP basis, it's going to be a very difficult sell. I mean, if you take a look at it on an annual basis, even until 2026, there's no profitability, there's no path to profitability. Revenue is expected to grow tremendously, but margins are expected to continue to struggle and not really turn profitable anytime soon. They are expected to decline, in other words, decrease in terms of losses. So we might be going through the peak of those losses right now. Like as I'm talking, like as I'm doing this video, NIO might be going through the peak of those expanded losses, and they might start to kind of minimize moving forward. In other words, they might start shrinking and we might start moving in the right direction, but who knows, right? I mean, NIO has been so distracted all over the place, in my opinion at least, that it's been difficult to kind of look at this company from any predictability standpoint, any profitability standpoint, to an extent that, okay, they've got a path, they've got, you know, a vision to move forward to profitability, but it just seems to be non-existent, unfortunately. So going over to the technical charts here, this is NIO's chart overall, which obviously has been on a consistent decline of lower highs and lower lows. We actually did manage to break out of this downtrending channel. You know, this right here was a little bit of a falling wedge. So as you can see that we were making these lower highs and lower lows. We got a very nice breakout. And then, of course, it started trading above those moving averages. It had a very, very strong rally. I think this right here was over 100% rally for NIO. But then, of course, we got rejected at that $16 level. In fact, I did point this out in my new updates that $16 is going to be a very important level, because if you go back, we've gone rejected here before. And this is also a support for NIO. And of course, that's exactly where we got rejected. The RSI, the MACD, everything was a little bit more on the overbought side. Now, if you go over to where the price is trading right now, first of all, I do want to mention that there was also a bullish divergence, right? There was a pretty massive bullish divergence here. So higher lows on the RSI, the price itself making lower lows. So there was a pretty significant bullish divergence along with that falling wedge, which eventually broke us out of that range. With that bullish divergence, with that momentum coming in, with a 100% rally going from, like, you know, $7, $6, all the way to $16, so over 100% rally for NIO. But of course, since then we have gone rejected because the RSI was really, really overstretched. As you can see over here, the MACD was overstretched. And since then, we've just been selling off for NIO. So where to next? Well, got a very, very important support level. That's going to be sitting roughly at $9.60. So that's going to be the very important level to watch. In case NIO breaks down below this $9.60 level, then I do believe there is more potential downside. Pre-market right now, we're sitting at about $9.72, so a little bit under $10. But this right here inside this green rectangle is going to be a very important level of support. We validated that level in the past couple of times. This right here, perfect validation at sub 10. Then, of course, rallied both times. So this right here was that first rally. And of course, this right here, the second time, we had a very nice move to the upside for NIO. So both times, of course, getting rejected and selling right back down. So bottom line is $9.60 is going to be that level to watch in case we get a breakdown. Well, then be ready to see us down in the 840s, possibly down in the $7 range once again. But bottom line is this share dilution obviously doesn't help the situation. It's going to only put more pressure on the overall price. And that's one of the reasons why it's dropping pretty aggressively, 6% pre-market. So support $9.60, resistance $16. We've got a long ways to go before we even get back to that level. Another resistance is going to be sitting and waiting for us in the $12, $13 range. But those are going to be three levels to watch: $9.60, low 80s, low 8s, and then of course low 7s. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Found it helpful. If you did, make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below for NIO. As always, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.